Hello creatives, and welcome back to my channel. Today, in honor of the holiday season, I figured that we could do something a little bit more fun and we can all design our own Christmas ornaments. So let's go ahead and get into Illustrator. I'm on my iPad here and I already have a template set up. Now this is for very basic ornament shapes. I'm going to be utilizing the sphere tool, circle tool, and these are all 3-inch rounds, and I just utilized a A4 size artboard because ornaments are not very big. Let's go ahead and dive right on in. I just created a new layer over here. I hope this new setup works very well because my last few videos I didn't know how to put Illustrator in dark mode. I just learned, so we're all learning today. Start with our design. I'm just gonna zoom into this first one here, and let's see. I think what I want to do is choose a nice light blue color, and I'm not going to put a stroke on it. I'm going to make a cute little Christmas scene. I'm going to use my shape tool over here. Don't forget to press down this like circle point, this focal point down here, and that helps to constrain your proportions for sizing. I'm going to give myself some space for any kind of bleeding and stuff like that. Okay. I kind of want to make a snowman, so let's make a snowman. I'm just going to use a whole bunch of circles for this design here. So let's choose our sphere tool, go back to white, and I'm going to be utilizing some gradients in this one. Just duplicate that shape, make our own really cute snowman here. I like a 3-tiered snowman, personally. There we go. You know, I may just have him be in front of like a little snowman house. We'll see how that goes. Gonna make little eyeballs for him out of coal, like the song. Now, you can zoom in very far, like I'm zoomed in at 1746, like 1746%, just so I can see what I'm doing. He's gonna be a happy snowman. You see these pink guidelines? They have those guidelines set up for you so that way you can make everything line up with each other. Let's make his nose. Ooh, triangle tool. Perfect. Go over here, choose an orange. More of an intenser orange. There we go. Don't worry, we're gonna rotate it. That handle that's all the way on the outside allows you to rotate. You see this circle with a dot in the middle of it? That circle rounds out your edges. So I'm going to choose that circle. I'm going to round out the edges there. This one here, using the second selection tool, I want to say it's like a point selection tool, or it's like your white direct selection tool. You can take the points, tap a point, press on this circle activator here, and you can choose multiple points, release it, and then you can move the points. There we go. It just makes it look more believable that way. There, he's a happy snowman. Let's make him a little bit more believable. Let's go into our swatches. Whoops, I think I moved something. I'm always selecting things that I don't want to select. So let's go into the layers panel and lock that friggin' back layer so that I don't choose it. I always do that. Go back into color. Let's go over to gradients at the top option over here. And let's do, should we do a freeform gradient? Yeah, let's do a freeform gradient. I haven't done one of those yet, so let's go ahead and do that. Choose the white over here. I'm gonna choose a softer gray color. And what's fascinating with freeform gradients, if you have a point selected in the freeform gradient, click anywhere within the shape to create another point. It takes the color of the previous point and just puts it there for you, which is super handy, especially if you're messing with multiple points. So it makes your work a lot more seamless. There we go. Now let's do the same for the others. So now we have this option here where the body is above the head and we want that to be in reverse order. So select the object, you can go into your layers panel and open it up. And then in here, you can move your items up and down in the layers panel by just clicking on the little icon box in layers and then just moving it down. There we go. And it goes right behind. And for the last one. And then once again, go into your layers panel, click the icon, and then just move it down just to get the stacking order correct. There we go. All right, he's looking like a pretty happy snowman, isn't he? Let's make an igloo behind him. Or should we put, you know what, let's go ahead and put a scarf around him, shall we? A Christmas scarf, because why not? Alright, gradient. I do love using gradients. I hope you guys do too. We're just going to keep it simple. We're going to do a linear gradient. I'm going to make a swatch out of my green color. Do the linear gradient. And then, fun fact, when you have a gradient activated, if you want to make a swatch of that gradient, all you're going to do is have the object selected with the gradient activated and then press the plus sign in the swatches panel down here when you scroll down on your colors, and it will create a gradient swatch for you, which can be very handy, especially if you're going to utilize and make your own pattern swatches for anything that you want to apply the same gradient swatch, pattern swatch to. So that's pretty handy actually. My green color, when I choose the color over there, can be that one. Alright, now they're all the same color. I'm just going to take this handle and move it up, take this one and move it slightly downward. This one's going to be a lighter green, so let's move the cyans lighter to the left. Whoops, not that far. Let's move it away from black and away from magenta to make it brighter. Bring down the cyans lighter, and you have a lighter green, which looks really good. And then for this point over on the other side where there's supposed to be shadow, I'm going to just pull the slider closer to black and pull the slider on magenta closer to red. One more piece of scarf that needs to happen, but I'm going to save this gradient as a swatch, and let's do another square tool, and whatever you have selected last in your colors will appear in your next shape. Let's go ahead and round out those edges a bit. Since this is not in the arrangement order that I would like, you can go into the layers panel and you can do what I did before by moving the layers yourself, or you can press this stacking order icon that's in the quick selections toolbar underneath the shape that you have selected, and then you can slide to the left and it just pops it right underneath. I'm going to modify this gradient just a little bit because it's really too intense right there. Alrighty, he's really coming together. Now, let's build... Oh, you know what we forgot? You know what I forgot? A shadow. He needs a shadow. Create a new layer in the layers panel. Drag and drop it behind the snowman, and we're going to create a shadow. Now, I mentioned in a previous video that there are no effects, so there's no drop shadow, there's no blur effects. So in order to do a shadow, you have to utilize gradients, especially if you're just working in the iPad like I am today. Let me choose my color, eyedropper tool, select the blue. So when I draw this, it won't really show up much, but don't worry, it will show up here in a moment. I'm going to create my gradient. Now, I think I want to do a radial gradient for this one. I think it'll be a lot softer as far as a choice. There you go, you have a semi-soft shadow. Mind you, it'd be better with like your effects, but we're working with what we're working with. So let's make his house, which is going to be behind him. A new layer, click and drag it down, put behind him, and then we're going to make his house. So square tool, please, and it's going to be made out of snow. Okay, I just went through a lot of modification here of pretty much everything, including the gradients. So I'm just going to modify this even more. I'm also going to name these layers. If you swipe to the left, you can name your layers whenever you need to. I'm going to name it tree. Okay. And then we're going to make a little, I guess you could say a little Christmas tree. Go ahead and make my own tree by utilizing the pen tool. There we go. And then we're gonna make it look like he attempted to decorate this tree by putting a little ornament on top of his own tree. So let's go ahead and do that. Oh, you know, let's add a bit of a gradient to it though, because it's looking rather drab. So now he's going to have ornaments on his tree. Let's do a really simple red one, shall we? And there is our first ornament done. Now you can stylize yours however you wish, but this is just a fun way that you can make your own ornaments. You can make it a lot more intricate if you wish. I'm going to actually print these out, which is why I put my artboard set to CMYK color mode. I put everything under one layer except for the template on the bottom. So all I gotta do is select that layer, duplicate it. I'm gonna put it on a new layer, and then I'm just gonna move it over to this next one. That way you can have a front and back to your ornaments, so when you print them out you can assemble them and have the picture on both sides instead of one. So that is our ornament fully complete. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one.